Hi, I'm Danita Brown, and today we're going to be doing a full body workout on our reformer. We're going to start off with 3 springs. We're going to have 2 green springs and 1 red spring. You'll come all the way down to your back, and we're going to start with our footwork. So for footwork, we're going to bring our heels onto the foot bar, and we're going to bring them in Pilates V. So the heels will be touching and the toes will be externally rotated, making a V shape on your foot bar. We'll take an inhale to start. On the exhale, we're going to press all the way out. Your legs will zip together. Inhale as you pull the carriage back in. Exhale, press out. Inhale, pulling back in. Zip the legs together as you press out. Inhale as the knee falls apart. Let's be here for 3 more. Last one. We'll come all the way in so we can take the feet wide on the foot bar. So you're going to have one heel on each edge of the foot bar, still with that externally rotated feet. And then you're going to exhale, press out again. Inhale, come in. And that rotation is coming from your hip. So not just pointing the toes outwards. Let's do our last 2 here. We'll come all the way back in, changing our foot position. We're going to slide down to the arches of the feet. We're going to bring the feet to the center of your foot bar, gluing your legs together, arches pressing onto the foot bar, and then you'll exhale, press out. Inhale, we come back into home. And we want to come in right before our carriage touches the stoppers. Squeezing the legs together. We've got 2 more. Last one, let's come all the way in. We're going to slide down to our toes now. So when we have our toes on, it's the toes and the balls of our feet. One more thing, we're going to squeeze the heels together and lift them up high. Your knees can start out falling apart, and then as you press out, they'll zip together. Try to keep your heels lifted up and squeezing together as you press in and out. We've got 3. Last one. We'll come all the way into home. We're going to bring the toes still on the foot bar, but keep your heels lifted. And then we'll separate the heels. So now the toes are just on in parallel. We're going to press all the way out to an extension, hold it there. And then keeping the legs long, we're just going to lower the heels under the foot bar so you feel a stretch. And then we gently lift the heels. And then we're going to alternate. So a bend in the left, lowering the right heel under. And then let's switch. Feeling that nice deep stretch on each side. Then we're going to pick up the pace here for a little bit of a prance, left and right. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lift both, bend the knees, come all the way in. Good. We'll take our feet wide on the foot bar once again, and we're just going to drop both knees to the right, turning your head to the left. Let's switch to the other direction. And we'll come back to the center. we're going to bring the heels on the foot bar, a little bit of the arches. This time we're going to point the toes away. And then the arms will stay down by the sides. We're going to go into our bridging sequence here. If you happen to lift your headrest, go ahead and put it down all the way flat. Bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to start with some pelvic rocks. So right now we're in a neutral spine. Your low spine is a little bit lifted off the mat. You're going to take an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're just going to tilt your pelvis to press that low spine into the mat. So as you tilt your pelvis, your hips don't lift off of the carriage and you don't really press away or open the machine at all. You're just tilting the pelvis forward and back. We'll inhale back to neutral. Exhale to that pelvic tilt. Let's do another inhale back to neutral. On this next one, we're going to do that pelvic tilt, but this time we're going to hold it. And then we'll start to lift the tailbone off of the mat. Then the low back, middle back, upper back. You'll come all the way up into your high bridge here. Press the knees forward away from you so that you can keep your springs closed. So use some of your hamstring strength to pull that carriage closed as you lower down, one bone at a time, all the way down to the mat where we're going to return to the neutral spine. Again, we imprint into the mat, start to lift up one vertebrae at a time, breathing out. Take another inhale at the top as you come down in reverse. We'll do that once more here. Another inhale at the bottom, imprinting the spine, and then we lift. And then let's come down in reverse, all the way down until our spine is nice and neutral on there. Perfect. Let's add on a little bit to that articulating bridge. So we'll take another inhale. Start to imprint the spine, lifting up into that high bridge. Once we make it to the top, we're going to pulse the hips up one more inch for 3, 2, 1. Pause as we start to come down in reverse. Perfect. Let's do that again. Imprinting the spine, we lift up one bone at a time. Little pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we start to come back down. Last one. We're imprinting the spine, lifting up one at a time. Little pulse. 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to come back down. All the way down to the mat. Perfect. Feels good. We're going to switch it up a little bit and go into what we like to call a hinge bridge. So this time, rather than articulating the spine up, we're just going to lift up in one flat back motion, straight up and then back down, just tapping the tailbone. Up, inhale down, up and down. Let's do 2 more. Up, down. Last one here. Up and down. Starting to feel those glutes fire up a little bit. Last thing here with our bridging sequence, we're going to come up into that high bridge, straight from that hinge. Hold it there. Make sure you're pressing the knees forward so your springs stay closed. We're just going to open and close the knees like a butterfly. 3, 2, 1. Lower down to the mat. We'll do that just 2 more times. Lifting up, open and close. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, 1 more. We lift up and we open and close for 3, 2, last 1. Come all the way down. Good. Once you're down, Let's just cross our right ankle over our left thigh. Give it in a little bit of a pull, a nice stretch. And we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side, crossing the left ankle over the right thigh and pulling in. Perfect. All right, let's come up for a little bit of a spring adjustment. We'll come up to seated. We're going to take off one of these green springs, so we'll be left with just one red spring and one green spring. If you're having any shoulder issues today, you can always go down to just one red spring for this next exercise. We're going to do some arms supine. So we're going to reach back, grab our loops. We're going to be using the smaller loop, the short loop. Once you have your hands in the short loop, we want to have our fingers, our thumbs outside of the loop so that we can just press into the loops rather than pull. We're going to have all of our fingertips pointing up to the ceiling though. Our feet start off on the foot bar, but we're going to float them up into what we call a tabletop. So we'll have the legs together. Your knees are going to be over your hips, and then your ankle and knee will be in line. So you're making a nice table shape with your legs. If this becomes a little bit more challenging, you can always cross one ankle over the other. So let's reach our arms up to the ceiling, wrist over the shoulders. As we exhale, we're going to press down. As we inhale, we're going to reach back up to the ceiling. Reaching your fingertips away from your shoulders so you have nice long arms. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. We'll open the arms out to a T, let the feet rest on our foot bar. We want our arms to be out to a T so our wrists can be in line with our shoulders. We'll come back into that tabletop. We're going to press into our hips and then open. Keeping that tabletop position, press into the hips and open. Let's do 2 more. Last 1. Good. We'll open out, bring our legs to the foot bar. We'll do one last exercise here. We're going to press our arms all the way down to the mat and hold. We're going to try to glue our arms down to the mat, bring our arms pretty close into our body. And you're just going to bend your elbows. Fingertips will float up to the ceiling. Press the palms back down to the mat for a tricep press. Let's just do 3 more. Last 1. Last one, we're going to reach our fingertips towards that foot bar and hold. Long arms, reach fingertips towards the foot bar. Extend your arms. You're going to peel your head, neck, and chest up off of the mat here, and we're going to do little pumps of the arms. We're here for our hundreds. Pull the belly in. Make sure you're breathing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pumps. Keep breathing. Option for these last few breaths to take the feet out to a 45. We've got 10 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. We'll come all the way down to the mat. While we're here, let's go ahead and switch to the long loop. And we're going to place the long loop on our feet, right at the arches, a little bit below the balls of the feet. And then we'll reach both legs straight up to the ceiling. We'll glue the legs together. We're going to start with a lower and lift. Let's exhale as we press the feet down. Being careful not to engage the low back, so we won't allow our heels to go past our hips. On this next one, let's press it down. Bend the knees into a tabletop. We'll bring the feet into that Pilates V shape. We're going to be here for a frog, so we'll press the feet out. The legs will zip together, and then we'll squeeze the heels together as we bend our knees. Press it out, squeezing the heels together the entire time. Let's do 2 more. Last one, we're going to sweep the feet out. Keep them in that Pilates V shape. Lift up to the ceiling. Bend the knees to draw it back in. Press it out to that 45. Sweep up to the ceiling. Bend the knees and extend. Let's reverse it here. We'll pull the knees in. Sweep up to the ceiling. Lower down. We'll do 2 more here. Let's bring the legs up to the ceiling. We're going to go into some circles here. Drawing the feet down and around, bringing them together up to the ceiling, opening around. Exhale to sweep down and around. Let's reverse. Two more. Once our legs reach up to the ceiling, let's go ahead and reach up there. Give these ropes a little pull for a stretch. We'll just let the legs fall apart. Maybe bend the right knee so the left leg hangs out to an extension. And then we'll switch to the other side. And we'll just bend both, come into a butterfly. Start to lower the legs down. Feel a little stretch here. Even open the arms out. Take a couple breaths. And then we'll slowly start to take our feet out of those loops. Go ahead and hook those long loops up on your pegs. We'll come up to seated here. We'll do another quick spring change. We're going to go down to just one red spring. And then once you have your one red spring, you're going to bring your hands to hold on to the front of your carriage. Now for this, you can have your feet down on the gray platform, but otherwise we want to bring our feet up onto the foot bar in that Pilates V shape. And we'll kind of scooch forward a little bit so we're in a nice rounded spine. And we're just going to press away, squeezing the heels together. Lower the heels under the foot bar, lift, and bend. We want to squeeze them together the whole time. Good, let's do 3. 2 more. Last one. Good. We'll come all the way in. Now we're going to let go of the foot bar, reach the arms into an extension. We're going to start with a left rotation. So as we press out, we're going to sweep the left arm back into a twist. Come back to the center. Let's do the same on the right. We want to stay long in our spine. Press out and extend. Keep trying to squeeze those heels together as you press away. Let's do 2 more on each side. Last one here on the left. And then we'll do 1 more here on the right. And then we'll come all the way in, a little stretch pressing into the foot bar. Good, let's stay with our 1 red spring. We're just going to spin around. We're now going to be facing our risers. Your legs can go in between the shoulder blocks. If that's uncomfortable for you, you can always cross one over the other. And we'll stay with our 1 red spring. We want to have at least 1 palm's distance behind us. You're going to grab your loops and we're going to make them just 1 extension here with our palms holding on to the tape. So we'll bring our grip up a little bit higher. We want to make sure we're nice and lengthened in the spine to prepare. We'll take an inhale. Press your thighs down into your mat. Take an inhale, shoulders down away from the ears. We're just going to round the spine and begin to round back. Hollow out the belly as you round back. Keep those shoulders down away from the ears. Round up to seated. Let's do that again. All the way up into your lengthened spine. Good. 2 more. Last one. Then we'll come all the way up. Let's stay here with this position. Start in your lengthened spine. We're going to start to round back just halfway and we're going to hold. So we'll stay in the C curve of the spine, round out the belly, really hold that C. And then shoulders will stay down from the ears. We're just going to pull the springs half open. Holding the C, pull it open. Exhale to pull it open. Last one. And then let's round it up all the way up to seated. Good. We're going to cross the loops now. And you can bring your grip back just a little bit higher. We're going to round it back and hold. So we're holding that C curve. Shoulders will stay down away from your ears. We're going to pull that left loop just like a bow and arrow and twist to the left. Extending back to the center. Exhale, let's twist to the right. Hold your C curve as you twist. Good. Exhale, left. Twist to the right. Let's do 1 more in each direction. And last one. Good. We'll come all the way back up to seated. Let's do 1 more exercise here. We're going to bring our grip up just a little bit higher now into our long loops. We'll round it back. Hold here. We're going to do our bicep curl. And let's just curl only to a 90, just till the fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good. We'll round it back up into seated. Perfect. We're going to stay in this extended spine, holding onto the loops still crossed. We're going to do a high row. So we'll pull the loops out wide. Shoulders will stay down away from the ears, but we will bring the elbows up in line. Good. Exhale, pull your high row. 4 more. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Last 2. And we've got 1 more. Perfect. Let's go ahead and hook these loops up. We'll keep the legs where they are. We're going to take an inhale, reach up overhead, fold down to your toes, long stretch. Restack the spine 1 bone at a time. Again, reach up overhead, rounding forward. Restack. Last one. Good. Let's cross our legs here. We'll just let our right arm hang down on the side frame of our reformer. We'll bring the left one up and over for a lateral bend. And then we'll open back out. Let's do that again. Same side, reaching up and over. Good. Let's take that left hand back to the foot bar. Right hand can press into your shoulder blocks. We're here for a rotation. We'll come back to the center. Let's do the same on the other side. Reach your right arm up and over. Lateral bend. Think about growing longer in your spine as you reach up to the ceiling, and then lateral bend of your upper spine. Good. Let's take that right hand back for a twist. And then we'll come back to the center. Take another inhale, reach the arms up overhead. This time we'll bring our palms together and then down to the center. And you are all done with this full body workout. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you next time.